Hello guys, I hope you're all doing super great. So I just wanted to do a quick devlog and show you guys what I've been working on. So we have our game right here, Carrot Girl, but this time around I realized the game doesn't have a menu. Basically there's no menu for the pause, there's no menu for the options. So I said let me just go ahead and create that. So this devlog isn't about GDevelop, but rather it's about the software I use to create pixel art assets, which is aseprite. So right here I have a simple menu for a start, pause, and quit. And let me just go ahead and cycle through the layers here so we can see what we have. So basically I have a background layer. I'll just go ahead and get rid of that. You can see that, and I have a each of this text I'm using. Let me just go ahead and zoom in and get rid of the grid. So I'll just go to view and I go to grid, actually show, and I'll just say pixel grid so we can actually see this. Now if I go on each one, so let's go on the pause, I actually have two versions of this text, and if I go ahead and drag that, you can actually see there's another one right below it. Very simple, nice, effective trick. So all I do is just drag that either to the left just to give it that kind of like effect. So if this is down, so this is dragged to the left, which I just did, but we can even try up or we can try down. It's going to give it like an effect where this object is actually facing down, and you can actually use that and cycle that through game engine. So that's a very quick setup. So this is aseprite, and I kind of realized even for a while I never thought I could use text in aseprite, but it's actually possible, and I'll show you how you can do that. So let's create a new document right here. So I'll just go to File, and New. And also what I did was to create this menu. I'll just go ahead and create a new and just talk about the menu real quick. So the size of this document is a 320 by 180 document, and basically I made it this size so I can see how the screen is going to look like on my game. My game screen is 320 by 180, which is a classic retro screen. So I'll just go ahead and set that, and I'll go to the project manager and just click on that, and I'll go to my properties. And if I scroll down right here, you can actually see the resolution and rendering. So I have the game resolution at 320 and the game resolution height as 180. And basically that's what we have there. And I've set it to landscape as well. So I'll just cancel this and let's jump back into aseprite. So how do we work with text? How do I insert this text into aseprite? Well, the first thing I'll do is just go to create a new document. So we'll just go to edit, and we'll go to insert text, which is this, and we'll just select a text. So I have this text called retro computer, and I'll just drag in and select any of these text, but I'll just leave it as retro computer, and I'll just type in a text and say hello everyone, like so, and I'll just click OK and leave that entire aliasing. So you can actually see a text saying hello everyone, but we can't really do anything with that. So I'll just go ahead and create a new layer over here on this project, this file. So I'll do a new layer, and right here we have our text below. So I'll just click on this and drag it above this layer. So on my bottom layer, I'll just select a dark rectangle and just draw this around. And I'll just select the paint bucket and select a dark color, and just like that we can actually see the hello everyone text. So how do I get this how did I get this text? And there's also something that I would like to show you. It's very important to select the size of the text because you get a pixel perfect text. So let me show you what I mean. So a good site to get text is the font. So a good site to get text is thefont.com. So you can actually check the section on bitmap like so. So we can actually click on bitmap and you should actually see these texts right here. If you want to have a custom text, so I'll just say hi there. Let's say this is the text I want to see. So if I just press enter and type that text, I believe this should load. Well, let's try and refresh the page. Okay, it's not popping. So basically there's a way to do this. I think I'll just say hello and say submit. Oh yeah, that's it. So it's the submit I'm supposed to click. And now you notice each of these fonts have a number assigned to them. For instance, the Minecraft font has 16 pixels. So if you're working with aseprite, just make sure you set the text size to 16 pixels, right? So that's basically what you need to look out for. So if I jump over here, and you can also download and install a font. So if I click, let's try this Allegard, or let's try something else. Let's try upheaval, or basically anything. So let's try pixeled. It's at 10px by Omega PC 777. So let's just download that font, and also be aware of the fonts. You don't want to download a font that has some, kind of like you can't use the font for commercial projects. So it's just something you should be aware of. So I just extracted this using right click and say extract to pixelated, pixeled. And what I also like to do is to just use rename the document with the text size. So I'll just click rename, and let's quickly jump here and see pixels is 10px to get the pixel perfect size of this. I think I have it right here. So I'll just rename that underscore 10px. So that way I always get to remember this font is 10 pixels. So I'll just double click on that to install it. I'll just say install, and it's going to install pixeled right here. So I'll just go ahead and close this. So it's pixeled underscore 10px. So let's jump to aseprite, and a shortcut is to press T to get that text. And for our font, let's just search for let's click the drop down arrow. So I'll just say now I have this in a folder, right? So I can just navigate to the folder where I have that, and it's in my downloads folder. Or either way, I think I should be able to select it. Yeah, good. So pixeled underscore 10px. So I'll just select that and load it. So I'm on pixels, and the font size is 10, like so. And just like that, we can actually see I have that text set right here. Right. So if you go ahead and just select this, we can just fill that up with any color we want, like so. So that's just a neat trick on how you can use text using aseprite, and then you can do a lot of things to this text. For instance, if I have like the trick I used for the last exercise, let's just duplicate this. I'll just say duplicate. So I have a layer copy. So I'll just use the move tool and just move this pixel 1 pixel down, like so, or to the left, either way. So I'll just select a color. So let's use this, and then use our fill tool and just kind of like, oops, sorry, I have a selection there already, so that's not going to work. So you can actually see that, and I'll just drag this down so it could be below this layer. So just for the H, you can actually see the effect we're kind of getting. So that's how I was able to put that together. Now if we get back to this, I also have some layers kind of like selected. I have one for the cursor type. Basically I want this to kind of like move when the menu select is working. So like I'll just have it fall down here like so. And actually see I did something wrong. I did a design on this, so I'll just get rid of that. So that's not supposed to be part of the design as well. And we actually have a nice one called the cursor background. You can't really see it, so I'll just increase the opacity like so, and you can actually see how it looks like. So this is also going to be an effect when I'm actually selecting the menus like so. So I'll just drag that till it's barely kind of like slightly noticeable, or I can even ramp that up if I want, but I just want to leave it at this value. It's about 60 or 70. I'll just leave it at that value. And also I have a nice one, especially when I press pause. You can't actually see it that much, but this is actually going to be dim. So if you kind of like squint, you can actually see this, And also I just set the opacity to have a little low opacity. And also what I'm going to do is to export this. Now if you want to export this, you can do it in various ways. We could just go to File and go to Export. So when we have Export, it's going to ask us to export the visible layers. So these are all the visible layers, but I don't think it's going to export each one selectively. Basically, it's going to export this as a menu file. So let's actually see the output. So let's select it an output. All right, I called it menu art, and let's just go and say export this. So if I go back to my projects folder, I'll just go to GDevelop projects and go to menu art. Where are you? Just do M. Okay, now I can't find the menu art folder. I'll just have to go to aseprite and try exporting that again. So I'll just go to File, Export, and see where we have menu art. So I'll just go 1. So it's in Carrot Girl menu art. It's actually there. So why am I not seeing it? So let's get back to our folder. So I think it should be here. Okay, right, good. So menu art, and you can actually see the issue we have right here. So it exported it as one object that has all the layers merged together, and that is not what we want. So we want to export each layer separately, right? So we want to export each layer separately. So what we can actually do is to go over to aseprite, and this might not be the most efficient way of doing this, but you can have every layer deselected like so. So I have DMBG like so. So this is the background I have, and then I can export these separately. So basically what I can do is just go to File, Export, and then I can just give this a name. I'll just call it the background, and you can actually see what happened when we exported it. It was a bit kind of like pixelated. I don't know why it did that. So we can either select apply pixel ratio, or we can resize that to twice the size. So I'll just select 200 and click on export. So now I've exported the background layer. So I'm just going to select quit and quit copy. So this is going to export only quit, because these are the layers that are visible, right? So again, quickly, I'll just go to File, Export, and instead of calling this background, I'm going to call it quit like so. I'm going to export this one as well. So let's just see our folder. So we have the background. So I'll just go ahead and click that. So it's twice the size, right? So it's 2 times the size now. So this is kind of like good. If I want to reduce it, I could just reduce the dimensions by 2. If you actually see this, this is 640 by 360, which is twice 320 by 180. So basically that's how we can resize this stuff just to make it awesome. So this is our quit, like so. And what we can also do is to, if these were on separate sprite sheets, we could export them as sprite sheets, right? So let me just go ahead and select everything, including our background. And I'll just drag these, open these up as well, just so we can actually see everything we have here. So if these were like separate sprite sheets, we could export them. If I go to File and say export sprite sheet, is going to ask us which frames we want to select. We can select or create tags, but since this is not a sprite sheet, it's a single document, we'll just actually leave this as it is, right? So but if you have an animation and we create those animations, I think it's it'll be nice to create the animations and then export as a sprite sheet, such that when we're importing it into GDevelop, we'll actually have one animation that has these separate sprite sheets, so we can actually animate them when the user presses a button. So, but I think that I'll do that in the next lesson because this is getting quite long. Once again, thanks very much for checking out my devlog. I'm going to import these in our next video into GDevelop, and I'll start working with the working on the menu. So hope this was helpful. Hope this helped show you something. I'd like to give a big shout out to Mort on YouTube. And this is Mort's channel. So he's a very cool guy. Has tons and tons and tons of information about aseprite. So aseprite, sorry. So if you want to learn how to use aseprite, check out Mort and learn how to work with some basic texts. And I got some tips from Mort. So just to give a big shout out to Mort. And with that, see you guys in the next video. Peace.